Hi, I'm Ty Bradley. I'm part of the professional communications class at GCU. I'm going to be talking about something relevant to my life today, and that is lingering COVID-19 and then the road to a vaccine for COVID. Lingering COVID is something I'm currently dealing with in my life. I had a positive test on September 5th, and the symptoms never went away. There's been many ups and downs. And I've been talking and FaceTiming my doctor, and we've been exchanging articles to try to answer some of these questions about lingering COVID that no one really seems to know since COVID is so new. And I'm going to inform you about the long-lasting effects of COVID and then focus on the route Pfizer is taking to provide a vaccine to the world. Pfizer, as you may know, announced Monday that they're working towards a vaccine, which is good news relating to COVID. And there are also a lot of other companies that are trying to reach a vaccine to help the world. What is lingering COVID and why is it relevant? Lingering COVID is people that have COVID for more than 8 weeks. For normal COVID, just under half of the people who had COVID were asymptomatic, while the majority of others only had symptoms for 2 or 3 weeks or possibly less. So this is a special category called the long haulers. And the main symptom of long-lasting COVID or long-haul COVID is fatigue, according to Srinivasan in 2020. There is no answer to the long-haul patients' questions because the virus is new and no one knows for sure why patients are experiencing long-lasting symptoms, according to UC Davis Health 2020. Lingering COVID affects everyday people's lives and alters their lifestyle. Since COVID is so new, there are not many answers or cure to this virus. And then a majority of the population shrugs off COVID within weeks, but some can experience it for a longer time or have different health problems. People may not be able to return to work, and this takes a toll on their physical and mental health, according to economist.com. And everyday activities such as showering, eating, exercise, and whatnot become much harder with long-lasting COVID because your energy and other things are just not there, your will to do work. The vaccine, according to Pfizer, will prevent people from getting COVID, but it also could be a cure for people with COVID, which includes long-lasting COVID. So this is good news in the COVID world. What are some details on the vaccine process? A vaccine developed by Pfizer and biotech was more than 90% effective in preventing COVID-19 infections, according to the Chemical Industry Digest. But the problem is, this is only being tested on people without COVID, so this could only be relevant for people who have never had COVID. But there are other companies working on vaccines that are not the exact same as this, so people with COVID could also be in luck. We will know more answers in the future, but right now there are so many questions regarding COVID. Based on current projections, we expect to produce globally up to 50 million vaccine doses in 2020 and up to 1.3 billion doses in 2021, according to Pfizer and BioNTech. The problem is with these doses is that they must be stored at negative 70 degrees Celsius, and these storage requirements are concerning as not every medical center has the tools necessary to keep a vaccine at negative 70 degrees Celsius. And if they're not kept at negative 70 degrees Celsius, they are unusable, according to Ducharme in 2020. The vaccine is currently being tested and is projected to be available in America within the next year, according to the Economic Times. How would this vaccine help the world? Vaccines would go to high-risk people, and then as it became more abundant, they would go to everyone. And hopefully, get rid of the pandemic and bring people's normal lives back. The problem is undeveloped nations will have a much harder time getting this vaccine because of the negative 70 degrees Celsius temperature that it must be kept at. Not many places in third world countries can keep vaccines at negative 70 degrees Celsius. This vaccine could dramatically decrease COVID cases throughout the world if it is effective. In conclusion, the coronavirus affects everyone's lives somehow, some way, and this pandemic has been around for months, so this vaccine may bring things back to normal. Lingering COVID is still being studied, and there are not many answers, but hopefully there will be answers soon. I think the vaccine will bring answers to lingering COVID. Pfizer's news on the vaccine is a step in the right direction for all things regarding COVID, and hopefully this ends soon. This topic is really important because it covers the vaccine, which is new news, and symptoms relating COVID and people struggling with COVID. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I hope you learned more things about COVID-19 today, and I hope this pandemic ends soon and all things are figured out. Thank you for your time.